Muscatine. It's Monday. It's above 50. It is still not December. I'm sure, right? Everybody, it's not December anymore. I've gotten that straightened out.
No, it's almost March.
It is almost March. I had, Megan, you may have missed it.
I
Megan's sitting
I
next to me.
saw it.
I totally biffed. And you can ask my son, I don't let things go for a long time. So anyway, good morning. I hope your Monday's going as well as ours is here. We've got two great guests today. The first one, so we're just going to get right to it. The first one is Megan Francis from Crossroads, Senior Resources. Any other stuff we should cram in there, Megan?
Yeah.
Like, you've got your fingers
Senior
in
Resources, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the
my
40-hour
job.
real job.
Right.
She's got her fingers in just about everything else. But good morning.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
It
Wow.
was like one of my first weekends. I have really not had a lot planned other than like carting my kids to things.
Well, and like ours was the first one without like a basketball tournament
Yeah.
somewhere, or so we were all kind of like
that
looking at each
lull,
other.
right.
Yeah, we were like, what's going
I
on?
know.
Which is, kind of nice for a
Yeah.
change. So you've got a bunch of stuff going on that we should talk about, but
Yeah.
mainly Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
This is like a big month for them. Let's talk about the national thing first, so we
Sure.
can all get some context for what is done here in Muscatine. So
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels, which everybody kind of knows the concept, but what's the big overall picture of Meals on Wheels?
Yeah.
And then I really want to talk about the March on Wheels and talk about how it all kind of came to be. So,
Sure. So, March on Meals. No, you
Wheels,
did not
right.
start there.
March on
Meals
Wheels.
on Wheels,
Right.
local program here, providing meals to seniors who are homebound.
Right.
I'm going to blame the overhead at the moment. There's a great speaker going on. I think it's Kayleen telling us some deals, and it just, I was listening. I was intrigued.
Yes, it's tough not to listen to those.
I know. So, Meals on Wheels,
Yes.
local program here in Muscatine, but Meals on Wheels programs are nationwide. And the goal of the program is to provide a hot, nutritious meal to homebound seniors. So we provide, and I'll just kind of dive into our local information here. We have about 40 volunteers who provide about 145 hours of volunteer work a month, delivering meals to seniors. Our numbers for clients usually range about 80 seniors that we are going to their home, giving them a meal, a hot meal, 6 days a week, and then Saturday they get a frozen meal for Sunday as well. So it's 7 days a week meal. Holidays,
Yep.
they're getting meals for all of those. And, more than just that meal that's delivered to them, it's that safety check.
Yep.
So every day, someone is going to the house. It's a nice conversation. Some people, they just leave the meal,
Yep.
they know it gets picked up, and that's all they want. Some people, we know of volunteers who, it's their last meal that they deliver and they sit and do the crossword or, sit and visit. Really have some great connections that people have formed. And for the family members, it's nice to know that someone is checking in.
Yeah.
So even if maybe there's a stair on the deck or the staircase that's a little wobbly, we get a call back at Senior Resources.
Mm-hmm.
If something feels not right, so the volunteer goes and I delivered and she was fine, but something was just a little wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or her apartment that's usually very well kept was, not looking right this time, then we provide a safety check. So one of our staff members will go or will call and make sure that we get eyes on that person or we talk to them and just see what's going on.
Well, and that's huge. When you look at, I know some folks that have senior parents or family members that, they work full time. They do what I would consider an awesome job of taking care of their senior parents.
Yeah.
But those extra eyes are just always handy, especially like during the day, because, you don't know what happens during the day when you're not there. And just knowing that somebody's going to be there, takes a mental load off of the rest of the family, in addition to just all the regular good it does. there's that, NAMI was here last week, and obviously my experience as a caretaker, caretaker support matters as well. And what I love about Meals on Wheels is, there's the obvious benefits of meals for seniors, and not taking away from that at all.
Right.
But I always tend to see that caretaker side, right? And it does take just that little bit of pressure off. It's not like it's this end all be all, it's going to solve every problem of taking care of somebody, but it just takes a little pressure off, which is great. So curiosity, where do the meals come from?
So the meals are prepared by Unity Point Dietary Department.
Gotcha.
So they do a fantastic job preparing all of those meals, and I will even give them a shout out. Last week when we had that impending weather, we called them 2 days before and said, it sounds like it's going to be nasty. Can we deliver a hot and cold meal the day before? And just try and alleviate any of that stress on our volunteers. That morning of, do we go, do we not? All of our clients know to prepare and have something as a backup in case that were to happen. But being able to deliver 2 meals on a Wednesday to avoid the Thursday, the dietary department went above and beyond to make that happen.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And they also do a fantastic job, which I'm continually blown away with, to meet dietary restrictions. So if there are doctor restrictions given, the dietary department does everything they can to meet those restrictions,
awesome.
Which is fantastic. So.
Well, and it's a great use of an already existing community resource. So that's awesome. And so as we think about that's local, how did this all kind of come together? Because we started to talk about March on Wheels and then we sort of pulled away. But this is actually a really neat story about the month-long awareness campaign. But what all does that touch on?
So the local program here is part of Meals on Wheels of America, which is a nationwide program. And that came about with, on March 22nd, 1972. Yes.
You're the one in charge of the story.
I had to put
72
all the
now,
dates,
folks.
all the dates together.
Don't
in my
Google
head.
it.
We're in 23. I looked at it this morning. We're in 23, so it's the 51st anniversary. President Nixon signed in an amendment to the Older Americans Act for the senior nutrition program, and that kind of birthed all of the Meals on Wheels programs, trying to get meals, healthy, nutritious meals, into the hands of seniors so that they can live longer and independently longer.
So what are the criteria to get a meal?
So the criteria with the nationwide Meals on Wheels is 65 and older. We don't want to, we also work with adults with disabilities. We don't want to turn away anyone who has a need for the program. So we've altered a few things over the last few years. A few years ago, I think it was just 2 years ago, we put into place a sliding scale. So previously it was a $5 flat fee for meals, and that really just covered the very minimum of cost. Now we have a sliding scale. So there were a number of people who were opting off the program because they didn't even have the ability to pay that $5. So it has enhanced our need for funding through grants and philanthropic dollars, but we also have about 48% of our seniors are getting a zero-cost meal.
Wow.
And they qualify for that. So it's based on a sliding scale, and most of our services are 65 and older because that's where senior services begin to kick in. But if there's someone with a disability or a need at that 55 to 65, we're gonna find what we can to assist.
Well, and that's, we talk about it often here, is those little adjustments that Muscatine always finds ways to make. Whether it's Habitat for Humanity, who's here, like, it doesn't matter what it is. We find this way, and it's the Muscatine history. It's that Muscatine entrepreneurship thing, where like you take this, Meals on Wheels on its own is a great thing, right? And then you just take what the need is here in town and make some adjustments, as long as it still works in the bigger program, so that you don't like get in Meals on Wheels jail. I'm sure there probably is a thing if you really screw up. I don't know, but you just make those adjustments, because really once you're doing the program, I would imagine, don't quote me on this, but to be able to add something in for somebody who's 58, as long as you can kind of cover the cost of it and it makes sense inside of the program, it's a big win.
Yeah.
So.
And, you know, Crossroads and Senior Resources together, our mission is to cultivate choice and inclusion for seniors and adults with disabilities. So in our bigger picture, it really does fit to take care of the whole population and make sure they're living the lives that they want to live. And if living at home and just needing that healthy meal and someone to check on is that piece that can help with that barrier, then, you know, we want to be here to serve that.
So you touched briefly on the funding need, which I'm guessing that's probably why there's a big fundraising raffle going on.
Yeah,
Am I right?
Yeah.
Look at me connecting the dots. It's like you guys made a plan and I followed it.
Right.
Woo.
Good.
They got this horse to the water, baby. And I even drank it. So you've got a trip to Branson on the table, right?
We do.
So tell me about that.
So it's a trip to Branson. It's the Falls Retreat. So, you know, up to 8 people. It's a nice little, kitchenette, sleeping arrangements, pool, you know, real nice area. And it's from the reservation is from April 21st to April 26th, which is the day before my birthday. So, and we're raffling off that. And all of the proceeds will go to that choice and inclusion for seniors and adults with disabilities through the programs of Crossroads and Senior Resources.
So tickets are
$35 each. Yep, and then, or you can get a bundle of 6 for $200.
Sounds like a deal. I'm not going to do the math.
It does save you $10.
$10, there you go. And then you could turn around and donate that $10 back.
You could.
Just saying.
You could, yeah.
So where do they get the tickets?
Yep, tickets can be purchased at Senior Resources or Crossroads during business hours. You can also reach out to our Facebook page if you can't get there during those hours. Message either one of the Facebook pages and we will arrange something with you.
Awesome.
They do need to be purchased through cash or check. So we're setting up a day to be here at Hy-Vee to sell tickets. We can go out through the community. We can come to your workplace, you know, and
send
sell
a smoke signal out. They'll find it. Send a pigeon.
We will get you tickets.
We'll get it. Yeah.
All of our board members will have tickets available, so we'll get those out through the community. And then the drawing will be live on Facebook on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
So you'll be decked out in green.
We are. We're having a big all client and staff potluck that day.
Nice.
It'll be a big old party, and hopefully we'll pull that winner, and it'll be a fun announcement.
That'll work. Yeah. Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about real quick while you're here?
I do want to give a quick shout out. It is Employee Appreciation Week, and Friday is National Employee Appreciation Day. So take a moment to thank all of the employees that you work with. I want to give a shout out to Senior Resources and Crossroads. We have the most amazing staff, and we're going to be doing some Spirit Week this week, dress up, and tomorrow we're going to have a Throwback Decades Day competition on Facebook, so watch our Facebook, and then we're going to give them some gifts on Friday.
Nice.
But we have the most amazing staff.
You do. You have, it's, you know, I got to watch a couple videos and some stuff of things that you don't always normally get to see. And, you know, the impact is real. You know, it's one of those things that it's Crossroads has been in Muscatine for, I don't know how long. I mean, like
over 50 years.
Yeah, forever. It's just like this institution, right? And sometimes you don't always realize, like, you know, it's a good thing and stuff like that, but sometimes when you don't hear those individual stories, when you do hear them, holy cow, it'll hit you in the gut, in a good way, way.
Well, it was pretty cool at the United Way celebration last week where they were celebrating volunteers. The Crossroads Day Hab group, which, you know, cultivating choice and inclusion, a big part of that is being included in our community. And the Day Hab program is very dedicated to giving back to this community. So they were recognized for their volunteerism out in the community, and they are out there volunteering. They deliver Meals on Wheels. They help out at MCSA Food Pantry. They've helped out at Salvation Army. So volunteer opportunities as well. But a shout out to them for their great work in
Awesome.
the community. And it's about giving back
Yep.
for what people are giving to you. So.
Yep. That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for stopping in. It was another Megan Monday.
Yeah, I
And
think I'm back next week too.
just, I mean, seriously,
But I'll be
they're making.
wearing a different hat that day.
What hat are you wearing next time?
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's? That
Yeah.
works. That works. You go all purple then?
All purple.
All purple. Well, I'll see if I can coordinate that. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll have Dan from Wesley United Methodist with us to talk about Beauty and the Beast.
Perfect.
Here at Toyota Muscatine,
So I would like to touch a little bit before we go specifically into Beauty and the Beast on just the Jackson concert series as a whole. Just kind of a, you know, it's awesome, it's here, what is it? You know what I mean? Just sort of that background on, like, I don't want to say how it's funded, but like somewhat that, you know, or like, you know what I mean. The purpose behind the gift and stuff like that. Yeah, or you might want to just, in case you move, just kind of pull that over. Yeah, that way you don't feel like you're yanking it. And we're back. Quick switcheroo. Megan's gone. Well, she's not. She's really like right there. But with us now, I've got Dan, who is the music director from Wesley United Methodist, which for those of you that are church challenged, it's the one on Iowa and 4th?
Yes.
4th. Oh, look at that. I got it.
Yep.
It's the one, and there's two on Iowa and 4th. It's the gray one. Just make it easy, right?
Mhm.
It's the one on the same side as MCSA. So they are a tremendous community partner. One of the things that this is all a part of is the Jackson Concert Series, which has been going on as long as I've kind of been around that I can think of.
yeah, a little over 40 years.
Yeah, long time. And so the Jackson Concert Series actually has kind of a neat little origin and what you guys do. So for those of them that don't know what the Jackson Concert Series is, could you give them kind of a quick overview on like kind of where it came from, what you guys try and do with it?
Yeah, so the Jackson Concert Series started in 1981. Robert Jackson was a prominent attorney, and he left a will in which he wanted to provide free concerts to the community. And so we've been providing free concerts to the Muscatine area for over 40 years. So we bring in artists really throughout the year. And yeah, no tickets are required. It's just a fantastic artistic avenue to get out and see some really high quality performers here in town.
You know, and what's really neat about it is you guys have a variety of genres. Like there was, I don't remember when it was, but there was like a bluegrass. Was that last year?
Actually, March 23rd, Monroe Crossing will be coming, and they're a bluegrass band.
And well, there was one maybe like 2 years ago, wasn't there? Maybe I'm getting my. It's still December here, folks. I don't know. So this one coming up is really cool. Chris, can you pull up some of the pictures for this? Beauty and the Beast. Now, I'll be honest, that wasn't my lane from Disney, but this looks amazing. So can you tell me a little bit about opera and how this all kind of came to be?
Yes. So Opera Iowa will be presenting Beauty and the Beast this Friday at 7:30 at Wesley United Methodist Church. Opera Iowa is in its 37th year of existence. They travel around the state in many different settings, including going into elementaries. They're going to be presenting at Madison on Friday morning. Sid the Serpent Who Loved to Sing. And so it's a group of small, young professionals. And so we were able to connect with them and to bring them here.
Yeah, so it's this Friday night.
Yes.
To kind of really hit that home, this Friday night. There's no basketball, there's no other sports that I can think of, there's no orchestra, you need to go to this, folks, is basically what I'm saying. So this Friday night, it's free. Don't have to worry about getting tickets. The ambiance there, folks, is unbelievable. the sanctuary, and you know, we're there for the orchestra regularly, and I can only imagine what this will be like up there.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with one of the spokespersons last week, and she said the set is stunning, and I mean, it's really going to be fantastic. Muscatine is actually the first stop for this new adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. So this is like a world premiere performance.
Awesome. So when you say new adaptation, so let's pretend that the guy you're talking to knows nothing about theater and or music and cannot clap in rhythm, okay? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily true. When you say, like, what's going to be different about it, what should they expect? I mean, because I'm going to guess a lot of them have seen Beauty and the Beast from Disney, which is like one adaptation, but that's not where it all started. So like, what can they expect when they see this one?
Yeah, so there's no Gaston in this one. I mean, comparing it to the Disney version.
Gotcha.
There's basically 5 characters. You've got Belle, Marcel, the Beast, and then Belle's 2 self-centered sisters.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, it's really about people seeing you for who you truly are. The characters in Belle's world are really obsessed with how other people perceive them, and the prince was the worst example of this, and until the Spirit of the Rose cursed him so that his body would reflect his soul. With the help of Belle, the Spirit of the Rose, and a magic mirror, the Beast will try to change his heart and break the curse. And so we've got, really it's about Marcel and his 2 daughters, not Belle, but the other 2. They're the antagonists in this one. So it's more true to the original, which comes from France in like the mid-1700s.
Right. And that's what's interesting. And, you know, when you look at like Disney versions of things compared to the original, they're, I don't know what the word is, but they're usually softened a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And they're definitely made to be consumed early and often and things like that. And they do usually have good stories behind them, but sometimes they don't have quite the impact that a more true to the original adaptation can.
Yes.
And, you know, I think when you're looking at something that's like a community event and, you know, being able to see something different, you know, it's not like, oh, I've seen Beauty and the Beast from Disney 16 times. That's fine. Go see this. It'll be different. Yeah. And you'll come away feeling different than you do after watching Beauty and the Beast, I would imagine.
Yeah, so. And I was able to watch an Opera Iowa performance about 15 years ago or so. I can't remember which opera they were putting on, but it's just incredible the talent that these young professionals have. And just, if you've not seen opera, I really encourage you to come out and see it, and just, you're really going to enjoy it. It's a 90-minute show with an intermission, so maybe about an hour 45 or so. Yep.
So yeah, is it kid friendly?
Yes,
would you
it
say?
is.
Yeah,
it
okay.
is. Yep.
So as you guys look, so that's this Friday.
Yes.
But the Jackson Concert Series keeps going because it's a series. Mm-hmm. What do we have coming up after Beauty and the Beast?
So March 23rd is a Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. We've got Monroe Crossing. It's a bluegrass band based out of the Twin Cities. They will be coming. Again, that will also be a free concert. And then in May, we'll have Martha Redbone coming on May 11th, a Thursday afternoon at 2:30.
Gotcha. And folks, you can always see that stuff in Discover Muscatine. So we've always got it on the website, and we've got it in the print, in the paper, and all that other stuff. So, wow, that's a lot. You guys do a tremendous job of curating this. I've always been impressed with, you know, this is going to sound bad, but the consistency at a high level of what you're bringing in, right? And it's something that, you know, somewhat like the orchestra, the symphony, right? Not everybody knows it's there, but once you go once and you realize what quality of entertainment is actually coming into Muscatine, it's a no-brainer. So again, this Friday night, Beauty and the Beast, and then you've got a couple more coming up in the next months to put on your calendar. But is there anything else going on at Wesley that we should know about?
Well, I just want to go back to the Jackson Concert Series.
Yeah.
We do have a Facebook page. Just type
that's
in
right. Yes.
Jackson Concert Series,
yes.
And follow us on there. That would be great. You know when all these upcoming performances are.
Yep.
And I just want to do a quick plug. this summer, we're having summer music camp again.
Yep.
It's going to be July 10th through 14th at Wesley United Methodist Church, which it'll be kindergarten through 6th graders, students who have finished kindergarten through 6th grade,
Gotcha.
and putting on, the older students putting on a musical, and younger students singing, and also participating in a Friday night performance. So I want to make sure people get that on their calendars.
Absolutely.
Get excited about that.
And we'll make sure we have you back before that so we can talk about that again. And heck, we should have you back before each concert. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe we should like dial in the bluegrass guys, see if they can.
Ooh, that would be fun.
We should try that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch on while you're here?
Well, just doors open at 6:30
Okay.
on Friday night. 7:30 is curtain comes down, and just
Awesome.
give it a try. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for stopping in.
Yeah, it's great to
Appreciate
be
it.
here.
So again, I know we've said it 16 times, but you got to hear it 17 to actually take action. So here's 17. Friday night, Beauty and the Beast. Go. Muscatine, that's plenty for you to stomach this morning. That's a lot of info, a lot of stuff going on as always. So enjoy the rest of your day. Go out, get outside, enjoy the nice warm wetness out there, and we will talk